Once again, everyone, welcome to Coding for All. And this time around, we'll be looking at Python inputs, outputs, and then imports in Python. All right, let's get right into it. Now, when we talk about Python inputs, we are talking about the ability of a program in Python to be able to take in user inputs. So just like when you enter into a web application or a web form whereby you are being asked to enter in or key in your information into the browser. For example, you want to sign in or log in into your account, you enter in your information. It takes in your input, goes into the database to check if you to authenticate you, and then now sends you into your account. So in a similar way, we want to just learn how to be able to write a program that takes in user inputs and then would output them. Now we've done a lot with the outputs in using print, right? Whenever you want to output anything in Python, we usually use print. But when we get into functions, then we'll look at how to output things using the return also. But for now, usually whenever we want to output anything into our console or just get an output, what we do is we use the print to print out whatever we want to see. And we've looked at a lot of examples like that in our earlier episodes using the print. You realize that we were using print this, print that, but now we want to look at the input. So anytime we want to input something into a program, we use the input library. So we have an input method over here. Let's paste it here. So I have num over here, and then I'm saying num is equal to input, enter your number, right? So when I click this, what happens is that now it is asking me to enter a number, right? So this input library over here, or say method, this input over here is what is ensuring that whatever you put in here should allow the user to input its value. So I can say 4 and then click enter. Now when I write num, right, and click enter, the number I inputted 4 comes in here. Now you realize we learned our assignment, right? So what I did was that I said this variable num should be assigned to whatever input the user should put in here, and the input the user put in here was 4, which was the value, and then we took the value and then we emptied out the value into num in such a way that whenever we call the num, what should show should be the 4, which is the value over here. So this is just about inputs, using inputs in Python. Anytime you want to input anything, you use the input. Anytime you want to output anything, you use the print. When we are dealing with functions, you can either use print or use the return. Now what I want us to look at in our next thing is looking at dealing with imports in Python, right? So what we can do is that we have a space over here. So hold on a bit. We have a space over here. Let me do this. Okay, so we have this, right? So anytime we want to do an import, all we have to do is we have to call import, because there are some modules that need to be imported into our working environment or our interpreter before we can use those modules. So let's look at math, right? So whenever we import math into this working area, and then we can just do print math.py, right? When we do print math.py and then we run it, we should get an output. So or we can do this, and then we have our 3.14 over here. What did we do? We just imported math, and then we printed math.py, and then we had this output. So what import does is that import allows you to be able to import some modules and libraries that have been reserved in Python into your working environment for it to be activated, and then for you to have access to them and for you to use them. We can try another import by doing import sys. Let's import sys. And then what we can do is, let's say you should print out system part, and let's see if we can get any output from here. So when we did the import sys, you realize it is giving us a lot of outputs, right? They're having a lot of outputs over here. These are the system parts that is within my working environment or on my Python. So it just gave us the system part to my Python 3, right? You can see it here. System part to Python 3. There's a lot. We'll have to scroll. System part to my Python 3. So this is import sys, and then print the system part. So this is just about Python inputs and how to import into our Python working environment for us to be able to have access to the modules and libraries that have been already predefined and reserved in Python for us to use. What this does is that it gives us the opportunity for us not to redo that which has already been done, and it saves a lot of time for us to be able to work quickly and faster. Meet you next time again on Coding for All. Subscribe to this channel. Let us learn coding together. See you another time. Bye then.